Hello and welcome to the Cynical Optimists, where the loot boxes just contain more episodes of the Cynical Optimists. I am Phill.
And I'm Nick.
And this week we're discussing Marvel. Now we were kind of debating whether it was a topical thing to do, and then the Infinity War trailer came out, and then we're like, yes, let's talk about all of Marvel from this year.
It dropped, as the internet would say.
Yeah, that it was...
Fresh trailer dropped.
Fresh trailer dropped. It was too hot to handle. But anyway, we'll get to that. First... film and TV news.
As always. I'll start with TV. Much more happening this week than last week because of those damn Black Friday sales. Have you seen anything about Good Omens?
No.
It's a book originally by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. Looks very good. Amazon are producing a TV series based on it. It's got David Tennant, Michael Sheen.
I like those people.
I like those people a lot too. And we've just had a picture of John Hamm as an archangel. Ooh. So we've got John Hamm as well in it. It's gonna be real good. I think that comes out in like over a year, but that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I like new TV series. They're always good.
Yeah.
And Amazon are also getting that Lord of the Rings TV show as well. So Amazon Prime, eh?
Yeah, I have that.
I have that too.
That'll be something to watch.
If you had to drop Netflix or Amazon, which would you have to drop?
Do I consider in this the free one-day delivery from Amazon?
Yes.
Or just the video content?
No, it's everything.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably Netflix, just because the next day delivery on Amazon is so useful.
It's pretty good.
Although I'd say Netflix has the better stuff.
Better content
from what I've seen of it so far since I've got it.
That's fair. Yeah, very fair.
How about yourself?
I don't know. Netflix has films and TV shows that I actually watch on there.
It's true.
Amazon has actually Amazon's got like new stuff coming out all the time, which is really cool. But I don't know. Netflix has just got The Force Awakens.
See, I've got my dad's Now TV, which has The Force Awakens on it.
Oh, very nice.
So, and also I own The Force Awakens.
Well, yeah, so do I.
It's this weird round thing called a DVD.
At some point next year, I'm actually tempted to drop like all my I'll keep my Blu-rays and my like 4Ks and whatnot, but I'll probably drop all my DVDs at some point and switch to either online streaming or just like digital versions.
Well, when the internet explodes, I'll be laughing at you because I'll still have my VHS tapes.
You'll be able to watch that whenever.
Yeah.
What else has happened? I'm a bit behind on Gotham, but we've had a new picture of Cameron Monaghan as Gotham's version of the Joker. I mean, do you fancy flagging up a picture on screen? Because
sure, why not?
It looks pretty damn good, to be fair.
Yeah, if you're watching this on the YouTube version, I've thrown up a picture on screen now. I'm sure. Interesting.
Looks real good, right? They've done like they'd already did the face removal stuff like in Death of the Family last season, but they've stitched his face back on, and he's got the smile. He's got the proper smile. He looks really menacing, and like the actual performance he gives, I think, is like 10 times better than Jared Leto's one. So that's exciting for me. Once I eventually catch up with Gotham. God, there's so much TV. I'm in the process of slowly getting through Matt Smith's Doctor Who. I'm also rewatching old Peaky Blinders as well as watching the new series simultaneously. I still haven't finished The Punisher, but we'll get to The Punisher later anyway.
Is this a good time to talk Arrowverse? Because that's my only TV.
Oh, go on, man.
Yeah, so Arrowverse had its crossover this week, and it was really good. Sometimes all you need is 4 hours of TV of just about beating up Nazis and evil doubles.
And 100th of the budget of the Justice League movie.
Probably. To be honest, they gave enough of a budget to this 4-part special that it could have its own title sequence.
I reckon that entire season probably had literally 100th of the budget of Justice League.
I mean, you're saying this as if this is some kind of argument.
Bless you.
Oh, sorry about that. I should roll my sleeves back down. It's not as warm as I thought. You're saying this as if this should be some kind of reason for Justice League to be better, but considering they did a really, really good job with such a lesser budget...
Is Justice League 100 times better?
No.
Okay.
Not in the slightest. I still prefer Arrowverse's version of the Flash. Although his evil double was the Reverse Flash again
Ugh.
in the.
I mean, to be fair, I am actually quite tempted to start the Flash. That might be my next TV thing, but
Yeah, the first season's really good. The second season's okay. The third season's quite bad. Fourth season's kind of bringing it back to good again.
that seems like a long haul. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, but the crossover events are really good. The choreography as well, because you had so many different heroes with so many different powers, and like all of them got like a good chance to shine.
Was this on the Flash basically? This crossover.
So the first episode was in. It was basically they put all the shows on Monday, Tuesday, so it went across. So technically, it was one episode of each show. So that's Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, and Flash.
So I'd have to watch even more.
To be honest, I don't watch Supergirl or Legends of Tomorrow. They don't go that deeply into the stories. They just go like deeply enough that it doesn't seem like completely superficial. But yeah, it was all about Barry Allen's wedding, obviously getting crashed by Nazis, as you do.
Classic.
But no, I thought it was really fun. It was just, it's always like, I just really like crossover, things like that. And it did forward, I could see it forwarding the plot, each of the plots of the individual shows, like within it as well. It had lots of character-driven stuff, which unfortunately Justice League just couldn't have as much, because you were introducing the characters in the same film.
And I think they re-edited all the characters in post to have different personalities. But other than that...
Yeah. Yeah, that was my... that's all I want to say for TV news. Because that was good.
Might catch
I liked it.
Eventually. Stranger Things Season 3 has obviously been renewed. No real...
Yeah, I was going to say
nothing much more to that.
That's quite a show of a cult following, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, obviously it was going to happen. Season 2 I thought was pretty good. Had its flaws. A lot of people didn't like it as much, but yeah, it's a good show. Have you seen any of Dark on Netflix?
No.
I need to start watching that. Apparently it's like a scarier German Stranger Things, so that sounds interesting.
I'll catch up with the regular Stranger Things before I go to the German version.
Well, it's not like related, it's just like a different show, but it looks pretty cool. Yes, the Stranger Things. Have you seen any of the... Because this is on the lead up to festivities. What do you think of all the Christmas adverts?
I've seen the BBC one.
Fucking awful.
I liked it. It was the one with the dancing girl and her dad.
What has that got... Like, what have any of these got to do with the actual brands?
Well, to be honest, that one was more about like family togetherness, and to be honest, that was just a nice wholesome ad.
Well, yeah, but like, why is that going to promote BBC? If anything, it's just like, oh, you could stay in and watch telly, or you could go and watch your daughter's rehearsals or whatnot.
Well, we're talking about it, so...
All of these Christmas
No,
adverts.
I think it is the tradition now is who can make the most wholesome Christmas advert.
Exactly.
That has nothing to do with their core
And
business.
they pump so much budget into them. I'm sick of seeing everyone like, oh, this is the best one. And I don't care. You know what my favourite is? Sainsbury's. It's real shit, but it's refreshingly low budget. It's just some footage of like old people just like singing about sprouts. And because it's like, it's not animated, there's no cinematic qualities to it. It's real shit, but I don't care because it's just fun Christmas advert that actually vaguely represents the brand.
Wasn't it Sainsbury's that did one a few years ago about...
The football game.
Yeah, the football game in World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like, I think Christmas adverts used to be like a thing where it was quite creative to do like a big budget one, and now everyone is doing a big budget one, and I'm sick of them.
But then it's kind of like how April Fools back in the earlier days of the internet used to be quite the novelty when companies did something weird for it. But now it's kind of expected that Google Maps will do something strange, and it's just become one of those...
It's not as cutesy anymore. It's just like, oh, they want to sell more than this other company.
Yeah, it's kind of out of necessity. Well, not necessity, but it's kind of expected.
What do you think of Moz the Monster, the John Lewis one?
I haven't seen that. I've mostly seen the BBC one because I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I still don't own a TV.
Yeah, Moz the Monster's no good, and it's very creepy.
It sounds creepy.
It's a monster that hides under this kid's bed, and it like they do like piggybacks and stuff, and it's all a bit weird. Just stop doing Christmas adverts if you're going to spend like... Literally, I think the budget for the John Lewis one this year was something like 50 million. I'm probably exaggerating that, but it's still a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say more like 8 million. But just chill out. Yeah?
Or just do one, like, surprise everyone by doing, like, an Easter one, and then don't do a Christmas one. And then gradually you'll be split out, and we'll have those kind of adverts less saturated throughout the year, so it won't be such an overload at Christmas.
The BBC one, okay, it was quite nice and heartwarming, but just, I don't understand why. Why? Plus, they only show it on BBC, so, like, what are they advertising?
Strictly.
Get out of here. Okay, film. Margot Robbie is apparently doing... She's got a fourth Harley Quinn movie in the works, apparently.
Fourth?
Yeah. There's the Gotham City Sirens, the Suicide Squad 2, there's a Joker and Harley movie, and apparently there's a Harley Quinn standalone as well.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean... I know we chat a lot about DC, but they are literally just they've probably got a dartboard with, like, ideas, and then another dartboard with,
I was
like,
literally
character.
about to say, like... This at this point, it's kind of scattershot. It's throwing everything and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
And then they'll finish it all up with the Flashpoint movie to get rid of everything that didn't work.
Days of Future Past it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's good. I really liked her in Suicide Squad, apart from, like, I don't think the director properly represented what that character's about, but I thought she brought a good performance to it.
Yeah, good casting choice.
Yeah, very good. But, yeah... If any of these happen, sure.
Yeah.
Which would you, out of those four, which would you rather see?
Gotham City Sirens sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Like a nice female-led villain
I would say a
anti-hero
big
movie.
yes to that one, but it's David Ayer again, who did Suicide Squad. And I'm not saying he's a bad director, because he did Fury, which is really good, but I think Suicide Squad, the
execs meddled. So they've learned not to meddle this time.
I thought more like, I don't think his representation of females on screen was particularly... I mean, if you're going to do a female-led film, like, that's really good stuff. Like, there should definitely be more. But, like, bringing someone who can only kind of hover the camera around the ass area, like, I'm not sure that's going to be the wisest decision. So at the moment, I'd probably say I would like to see the standalone Harley Quinn movie if they get a good enough director. Just get Patty Jenkins to do all of them.
Yeah.
Or Rachel Talay's good.
What does she do?
She does like Doctor Who and TV and a bit of Sherlock and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think she's coming back for the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh, I missed a bit of TV news. They've swapped to ARRI cinematic cameras for the new series, so that's very exciting. That pleases people like me. I did film production and stuff like that. So.
And that sounds fancy to people like me who nod.
Like, you know, like it's a cinematic quality it's going to have. Like I think how Broadchurch is shot. Yeah, so...
Well, that's good. It brings in a visual distinction.
Exactly,
as well.
that's exactly what they want to bring.
For a new era.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it just looks bloody classy, this new series, and I'm really excited. Have you seen anything about All the Money in the World?
I was watching the trailer over your shoulder before we started recording.
And you didn't know why I was watching the trailer or why I'm interested, did you?
No.
Because this is a movie that a month ago was starring Kevin Spacey.
Oh.
What's his bloody name? The guy who owns loads of oil or something. It's based on a true event. There was a trailer just after the allegations. Well, after everyone came out about Kevin Spacey, and like the trailer literally headlines him right at the end. It's really weird. It's just like starring blah 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 and Kevin Spacey, and he like walks through a door really dramatically, and the whole audience just simultaneously cringed when we were watching the film. It was just like, oh, that's such bad timing. A bit of an insight. I actually work in a cinema as well, and we got an email from, I think it's Sony distributing it, like a couple of days after, just like, please immediately delete the All the Money in the World trailer from your systems.
Right, they pulled it.
They pulled the trailer, plus they've also decided to reshoot all of the scenes that Kevin Spacey was in and replaced him with Christopher Plummer. This is all within a month.
Wow.
It's still on track to be released on the 22nd of this month.
Wow.
Yeah.
You gotta think where it'd be easier just to CGI his face on Kevin Spacey.
That's why I'm interested in this trailer, purely because, like, there are close to the line reshoots, and then there's this.
Yeah. That is, not wanting to lose all the money you put into a film, so very quickly reshooting a bunch of scenes.
Absolutely. I mean, it like from the trailer there, it looks pretty tight. It doesn't look jarringly weird like Justice League could be occasionally.
Yeah, it's one of those sunk costs situations where actually the cost of doing some reshoots is going to be far less than the cost of not releasing the movie at this point.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So yeah, they'll just send out a new cut probably a couple of nights before to the cinemas, and jobs are good. So, well, credit to them. Credit where credit's due. To be fair, that's a pretty big old decision to make, isn't it?
Yeah, especially not pushing back the release date.
Yeah. So yeah, good on them. It looks pretty good actually. Trailers. We've obviously had the big one in the last week. So when did this come out? 29th, was it?
It was like Tuesday or Wednesday, right? The trailer.
Yeah. We've got the Infinity War trailer. Where do we begin?
Or do we begin in the discussion?
Kind of lead on. I was gonna just talk briefly about the trailer.
Yeah.
Then talk about our main topic, and then sort of at the end we sort of bring it back to the trailer and just talk about like what are we most excited to see in Infinity War and that. So yeah, we've had the Infinity War trailer, and it looks good. It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
One thing I chatted to a mate of mine. He sort of said like, I was like, oh, what did you think of it? Was it cool? It was like, and he said, I felt exactly the same watching that as I did the Civil War trailer and the Age of Ultron trailer and the Avengers trailer. And I thought that was a very good point actually, because it's it's a weird trailer in that it's a bit of a teaser. It shows quite a lot, but it's mostly just the team standing around and then the villain kind of appearing.
Yeah, it's going to be another large horde of alien enemies.
So, does that worry you a little bit?
No, I think the fact that they gave away so much of Rogue One, now Disney and all their properties, is probably holding the cards close to the chest, not giving much away. Because the thing is, it fuels speculation videos like this one. If they don't give much away, I'm interested to see. I'll be more excited when I see footage of like the Guardians interacting more with the.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the best thing about this. But I mean, because the trailer, I remember watching the Age of Ultron trailer, and like it's very similar. There's a lot of sort of slow motion shots, a lot of like dramatic shots, and then like the villain just pops up and kind of monologues for a bit, and that's kind of the end of the trailer. And it's a very similar format to that.
Have you seen the how Twitter's responded to Thanos?
Well, all the memes when they photoshopped like Homer Simpson and Hellboy and stuff on it.
Yeah, that's quite funny. But no, it is one of those things that I'm curious to see how this film will flow with so many characters. Just because, like, if you split 2.5 hours between 20 people, that's not very much time.
I think this one has quite an interesting thing, obviously, because we've kind of seen a lot of the Infinity Stones, kind of their power in motion, like the Time Gem in Doctor Strange. We saw it like used really effectively. Obviously, Loki's scepter was an Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
So that's like we've seen how powerful these things can be, and I just hope that. I mean, the trailer for Infinity War does look a bit. It could be a bit straightforward, but I'm hoping there are some twists and turns using the powers of the Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Because obviously Doctor Strange, I thought was a really cool ending. Spoilers for Doctor Strange, by the way, in that they used the Time Stone to kind of rewind the big fight at the end before it's kind of even been shown on screen, and I thought that was a really interesting way of doing things. I just hope there's enough like cool visuals and cool ways of doing things in this film to not blend it too much into.
But that's what happens when you build a cinematic universe properly. Is you don't have to waste much time on the exposition, because at this point we're like, oh yeah, we've seen all of this.
Oh, come on! Justice League didn't waste much time on exposition on the mother boxes.
There wasn't anything.
Exactly. They were just like, these are the mother boxes. They can do everything.
They're like, it's like the Tesseract, but there's 3.
And they can do pretty much anything the plot desires them to.
Yeah. They're defibrillators.
So we'll get back to Infinity War trailer in a bit. Let's talk about Marvel 2017.
Gaming news.
Shit. Oh, what a perfect segue.
Yeah, this is why I was a bit confused when you brought up the Infinity War trailer because I was like, man, there? Huh?
Alright, gaming news.
Oh, I've broken his flow now.
Oh, that was going so well.
Yeah.
Wait, let me go back. Rewind. Use the time stone. I can. Let's go back to All the Money in the World. Speaking of All the Money in the World,
Yay.
Battlefront 2. Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you saved that. It's definitely saved. So, as much as I hate having to start the gaming news, I'm actually genuinely just like, can this all stop now with the loot boxes and such? Because it's
I want weekly updates.
But yeah, so I'm just gonna go through this. So, do you know who the ESA? So that's the Entertainment Software Association. That's
Right.
like Nintendo, Microsoft, a lot of the big guys together. Them, and also in a separate statement, the boss of Take-Two Interactive, who are behind GTA, Grand Theft Auto.
Got it.
Basically have put out a separate statement saying that they don't think loot boxes are gambling. So they're basically just trying to be like, nah, it's not.
Well, even though you put in real money and you get not a guarantee, like,
Yeah.
prize. That sounds a lot like gambling.
And also, it's kind of sidestepping the issue of like kids play games. It probably shouldn't have these kind of things.
Yeah.
Because it's not good. At the end of the day, these are kind of fancy toys.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they potentially stuff like loot boxes should only be allowed in 18 and higher games.
Yeah.
Because it's the age where
You
I
can put
believe
real money in.
that's like the gambling age anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it shouldn't be something that a kid can accidentally wipe out his dad's bank account in an afternoon.
Then again, the original Pokemon games, you could go into a little casino and do a slot machine.
That's true, but it wasn't real money.
Could be. No, it's not.
But yeah, EA's been feeling the brunt. On Tuesday, it was reported that over Tuesday night, EA lost $3 billion in stock value overnight. I'll point out that they're still, from the beginning of the year to now, they're still up, like, overall.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been hit hard because of this whole loot box controversy.
They could make 10 Justice League movies for that much.
I know, it's because their shareholders are getting nervous because of the low first week sales that I was mentioning in our last recording.
Yeah.
And kind of the negative all the negative press.
Yeah. And the memes.
And the memes. Yeah, the the Wall Street analysts saw the memes and
they're like, shit, look at all these
sell.
Look at these memes, Jeff. Jeez.
It hasn't stopped EA because UFC Ultimate Fighting Champion 2017 has just come out, and it is full of Battlefront 2 style loot box system.
Right. You have to buy like clothes for the boxers and gloves, otherwise they just have to
the
fight.
thing is, that's like cosmetic. Like that's that whole thing, because you're actually bringing me quite nicely onto my next topic.
Go on.
Is that as you may or may not know, it was Overwatch that kind of popularised the loot box back last year. But all of that was cosmetic. It was just costumes for your characters and stuff like that.
Right,
Stuff
yeah.
that didn't actually affect gameplay.
You could still beat the game just as easily without the loot boxes. Yeah.
But then EA were like quizzed on this, and they came out saying that cosmetic items weren't in Battlefront 2 because they didn't want it to break the canon.
All right. Wait, what?
Yeah, they thought people would be angry.
What, in the multiplayer?
Yeah.
Where you can fight Darth Maul against Kylo Ren?
Yeah, exactly. That's been most people's responses. And do you know what was featured in 2015's Battlefront?
I can't remember. Go on.
Cosmetic items.
Yes.
Where you could dress up your characters.
Yeah, you could take helmets off clone troopers and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know what happened later to show that this was just a giant lie?
In the first Battlefront, you could get your character to dance while on a multiplayer mission.
Yeah. Yeah, they were so concerned about the canon. But then actually somebody did a data mine in Battlefront 2 and found cosmetic items. So they were intended to be in the game. So that story was kind of immediately overturned as being a giant load of rubbish.
Load of bantha. Bantha fodder.
Yeah. And also, Last bit for EA, and then I'll move on happily to something else. Well, not EA, just like this whole loot box situation. Is that a supposed National Committee for Games Policy came forward, all about like self-regulation of the industry, and supposedly fronted by industry vets. And it seems to have turned out that it's just some dude.
Right.
Yeah, he's not like an industry veteran. In fact, the only notoriety he's got online is being a massive troll. But he was like, yeah, we're going to like self-regulate, and actually in that whole story about them losing the $3 billion in stock, like Wall Street were like, these guys should probably self-regulate before government steps in and regulates for them. But yeah, this whole thing had a web page put up and everything, and people did some digging. It was just some dude. Like,
brilliant.
Yeah, don't you just love the internet? Anyone can make a web page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a... Yeah, can this stop now? Can loot box...
Well, I want to talk about some of the positive... Like, have you read or seen any of the story mode in Battlefront 2?
No.
It looks kind of interesting. Han Solo's got a beard. There's a bit with Han Solo and he's got a beard.
Cool. Well, that's the thing. If a potentially good to great game has been overshadowed by a massive controversy because the publishers were stupid. And that's the big shame here, is that a lot of hard work from the people,
creatives,
from the people at DICE, the people who probably were incredibly passionate and excited to work on a story for a Star Wars game that's going to be official canon.
Official canon, yeah. It's a really like a big story actually between 6 and 7.
Yeah, and that's all.
And Han Solo's got a beard.
That's all getting overshadowed by this controversy, and that is like the biggest shame, really. Is that I'd much rather talk about the game than the politics behind it. But yeah, no, I would be interested. To be honest, if it's on sale in like a year or so, I'll probably pick it up, do the story mode, and then never touch it again.
I'll probably just watch the story mode on YouTube. I've
That's
watched
also
bits
true.
already. So.
Yeah. But anyway, that was following up from 3 weeks ago. It was our topic. So following up from last week's topic, Ukulele finally has a release date for the Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
Because it was meant to be coming to the Wii U, but it was moved to the Switch when the Switch was released.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the 14th of December. So that's in 10 days from
Oh wow, close. Yeah.
And A Hat in Time is coming to PS4 and Xbox One on the 6th. So this week.
Oh wow, that's very soon as well.
So yeah, both of them are getting kind of new releases. I'd recommend them both. Go check out our episode from last week to hear some more in detail thoughts.
Even I liked them.
And Nick doesn't understand game.
How do I game?
Buttons? What are those? On my shirt?
Oh, I'm gutted we didn't do the screen recording for what was the one I kept going on the slide for?
Poi.
That was good fun. that should have been an upload.
Yeah. It's a real shame. Oh well. Anyway, finally onto the main story that I've got for the week. Well, not main. The one where I've actually done the most reading or writing about. So, you may have heard of him. He used to be a plumber, but obviously the official story's now changed.
Oh, is this Dr. Mario?
Why has Mario been in the news this week?
Is he now a professor?
No, this isn't to do with his job.
Okay. He's pregnant. I don't know.
Well, there's been 2 stories. So the first one is that Nintendo has revealed a Super Mario cereal.
Okay.
Where the box will actually be an amiibo.
Sure.
It won't do much. It's only going to give you some coins and some hearts.
This isn't news, Phil. There's Star Wars cereals every week.
Yeah, but it's a Mario cereal. And the cereal box can get you stuff in a game.
I apologise for this, ladies and gentlemen.
It's fine then. This might count more. Super Mario Run, Android's most downloaded game of 2017.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's more news, yeah.
Yeah, is that satisfying to your news needs? Your news.
I come here for quality news. Have you played any of Animal Crossing?
No, not yet.
No.
But I played a bit of Mario Run when it came out on.
I think I downloaded it, but I never played it.
Well, the thing is, it's got the kind of you can do like the first levels from the off, but you had to pay more to do more.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to pay money. Why would
Loot boxes, am I right?
Well, no, that was just you get all of it for a certain amount.
Right.
So it wasn't. It was just like, but it was DLC basically. I guess would be the better term for it. So what other Nintendo property made the news this week? This was the classic story of it coming up in a game show.
Dunno.
Pokemon.
Huh.
It was an answer in the American game show Jeopardy, because the question was, well, you know, Jeopardy. It's like, what is the question? Isn't it that? No, is that it?
I've never watched Jeopardy. What is this news, Phil?
American viewers will know. But anyway, the answer was the desire in his childhood to catch every insect inspired S.h.i.e.l.D. to create this 1996 game. Did any of the contestants get it right?
I'm going to say no.
No. One of them guessed the answer Splat.
Okay.
Which...
was it multiple choice?
No, you had to write in...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? And they just came up with Splat.
Yeah. And another one guessed the video game Centipede, which, to be fair, was a step up because Centipede was a real game, but it was not 1996. It was years earlier.
Right.
So yeah, neither of them managed to get it because he kind of made the link between insects and...
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but this isn't the first time that Nintendo properties... Have you seen that picture of the lady who guessed... I don't remember what the question was, but she guessed Donkey Kong. So instead of like Donkey Kong, put an A.
Donkey
Kong. Yeah, so that's... Well, you know, I thought I'd do a bit of Nintendo and the whole of popular culture as my topic this week.
Oh, okay. This is our theme.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is a story that Mario is getting a new cereal, which will also act as an amiibo. The fact that all it will do is give some coins or hearts in Mario Odyssey, however, has dashed my hopes of playing as Tony the Tiger in Smash. Super Mario Run is reportedly the most downloaded game of 2017 for Android. Running through and collecting as many coins as possible, the game is an incredibly apt metaphor for Nintendo's mobile gaming strategy.
Like it.
So other news, there is a dinosaur park simulator coming to PC
Love it.
called Parkosaurus.
Okay. Any tie-ins at all with Jurassic Park, or is this all...
Well, interestingly, this is
A
now
bit
the
bootleg.
second that has been announced. The first one was a direct tie-in called Jurassic World Evolution.
Right.
And
This is the bootleg version. Where you...
Yeah, both are supposedly coming in 2018. Jurassic World Evolution looks like it's going for more the, you know, not realistic, but, you know, like, I guess higher fidelity. You know, it will look
like
a bit
real
more...
dinosaur park.
Whereas, like, the other one's a bit more cartoony.
Right,
But
yeah.
both of those... so you're going to be spoilt for choice if you want to run your very own dinosaur park.
I mean, I
in
wasn't
2018.
thinking about it, but...
Doesn't it sound like quite a fun game?
It
though?
does sound like quite good fun.
I mean, I'd be a bit worried about my dinosaurs breaking out and wrecking the place. Because, as movies have told me, that always happens.
I would try and do that.
To be honest, people do that in Zoo Tycoon, so...
I want to see how quickly I can get it shut down. I would just put like one ride, and it's a very slow moving roller coaster, and it goes straight through a T-Rex enclosure. And I'll see. I want to see if they just close me down. That's what I'm going to do.
I was going to say, you just sound like a regular simulator game player. Like the people in Roller Coaster Tycoon who just make a track that just ends. But yeah, you're gonna be spoilt for choice.
Wow.
And today, the 4th, if you're watching this on the day it comes out, 4th December, you could be watching, well, after this, I guess, go over and check out the Mega Man 30th anniversary stream, which is quite exciting. And there may be some announcement. I know Capcom have been teasing things for a while. But yeah, 30 years of Mega Man, and he's had quite a lot of games.
None of which I have played.
Oh, Mega Man 2 is always a classic, but I think at like 2 Let's Plays of Mega Man 2, I probably won't be doing another one soon. Because I played it, and then my friend Dylan played it. And then whilst it would be very apt for you to then play it, because it would be on 3 different channels as well. No, I think there's only a certain amount I can talk about a game.
Let's do it.
And And the other one is that there's an official Mega Man cookie jar coming out that reportedly looks a bit like an urn. So I'm gonna throw up a picture on screen for those watching on YouTube. But yeah, I'll show
Oh my
Nick.
god, it does. It does look like an urn.
Because obviously it's meant to be like his Mega
His
Bus.
arm thing,
yeah, his
yeah.
arm cannon. But it just looks like a should have someone's ashes.
That contains Mega Man's charred blood.
Yeah. And on the news of cannons, Marvel.
You could have done something better than that. Like,
On the news of
who else
gaming,
is a Mega Man?
Captain
America.
America is a Mega Man.
Yeah.
Well, now we can
Well,
get...
speaking of Urn, Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Speaking of earn, Marvel's about to earn a shit ton of money.
There we go. That'll do
There
it.
we go. Now you can go back to your train of thought that I
Oh,
so rudely interrupted
Fucking
earlier.
hell, use the time gem to get back to where we are. Okay, so what I was thinking is we just go through everything that they've released this year. Do you know they've released... Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... When they release Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. later in this month, I think.
It's the first episode premiered Friday because I watched it yesterday.
Oh, crikey. Okay.
It was
Well,
really good.
they would have had 8 properties in the MCU canon, and that's just TV and film. 8.
Yeah.
The DC Extended Universe, by comparison, has 2.
Oh, what? Are you taking Arrowverse as just one?
Well, not in the DC Extended Universe, which
Oh,
is the...
what? Yeah, because all of their
Yeah.
shows have separate universes,
Yeah.
right? Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
So, even though DC did release a lot, like Gotham and all the Arrow stuff, like...
Yeah, not a lot
And the
of it
animated stuff,
interconnects.
but yeah, exactly. Marvel have released 8
Yeah.
live-action MCU products. That's
Yeah.
a lot. And it's proof that you should just create more, and then some of it's got to be good. So maybe there's some advice for DC.
Yeah.
Just put more out, and
Oh.
some of it's going to be good. Because Marvel had some bad stuff.
Man, the Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. opener, that show has got some real balls of where it's going this year.
Is it?
I mean, if you don't mind spoilers, sorry, spoiler alert, do mute for the next...
Spoiler for
30
everything
seconds.
that's happened in the MCU this year.
But yeah, they've been warped into the future, and Earth is destroyed.
Whoa.
And that is like the cliffhanger of the... Because they did like a double episode
Wait, how
thing.
far in the future?
It's kind of it's one of those quite vague.
Okay.
But yeah, it's one of those things where you think they've just been transported across space.
Yeah.
And the whole first episode, they're in this space station getting like tracked by these bugs.
Right.
But it turns out it's like a Kree outpost. And then they like escape the Kree outpost at the end of the episode. And then they like turn the ship and they're like, what? And it's just a view of the Earth with like a huge chunk blown out of it.
Ooh.
And it's like...
Damn you!
So I'm not
Damn you all to hell!
I'm not sure how they're going to get like back to the present and like
Right.
not blow up the Earth, I guess. But it's
Do you reckon
quite-
it
was
ties
quite-
into Infinity War? Any ties in, do you reckon?
There was actually one of the characters had a face mask for like being outside in the vacuum, like one of the new characters they've introduced. Looks a lot like Star-Lord's kind of design.
cool, yeah.
So I think there's going to be some for Guardians Infinity War like imagery like prevalent. But yeah, it's really good.
I don't think it will go too close to the actual plot of Infinity War, though.
No, Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. is probably at its worst when it has to tie in with the MCU.
But then again,
nowadays.
it had a bit of a heads up with Age of Ultron, didn't it? I mean, not that I watched it, but they had that guy who had the Loki's scepter. He was
that was probably the best they've done because that led into Age of Ultron.
and someone gave him a bit of a memo telling them what's going to happen in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, but apart from that, like for example, I think Civil War, there was like one throwaway line about the Sokovia Accords, and then they just went straight back on what they were
I mean, to be
doing.
fair, they're not superheroes in that show. Well, they're not like the Avengers in that film, in that show.
Yeah,
So.
they've got in like people with powers because
Yeah.
of the whole Inhuman thing,
But back onto Earth, back onto Earth 2017 with Iron Fist, Danny Rand,
I've not seen it, but I've heard it's crap.
the immortal Iron Fist. Yes, no good. In fact, I'll kind of probably lump in a load of these Netflix shows together. I feel they've gotten a bit predictable. In fact, that's what worries me about Stranger Things Season 3, is that I think Netflix, once they've got a formula, they'll kind of stick to it.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if they play it too safe.
Yeah.
Which is why I felt, I wanted to kind of bring up the whole Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. thing, because that's a very bold thing to do in, like, your new season.
I mean, the production quality of the Netflix shows, I think, is, like, immensely better.
Yeah, probably. Well, the budget, I think, has increased but yeah, the Netflix ones probably still have an even higher budget.
I mean, it's not even just budget. I think they only have to pump out, like, 10 or 12 per season.
Compared to what, like, 24
and the seasons are every
yeah.
couple of years as well, because each individual show has its own production crew and directors.
Yeah,
and like they have time to make it look nicely lit, nice sound, nice sets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So as a result, Iron Fist looks good, and I think it's cast decently. But the overarching plot. Oh, by the way, spoilers for Iron Fist.
Just assume spoilers for everything.
Yeah, the overarching plot was not very good.
That's what I've heard. It's just a dude who punches and then he feels real tired.
That's basically it. But like, there's this we've got to talk about the baddie of the season. I think his name was Bert. I can't remember. It was either.
Was he accompanied by Ernie? We're gonna kill you now.
I think his name was Bert. It might be Ward, but I think Ward was the son. I think Bert was the main villain. Bert. Oh, sorry if he called Bert, but he's a guy who was kind of involved with the death of Danny's dad, and like who died in a plane crash, and also he's to do with the hand or something. And Dad, like, he's straight up, you can tell he's like straight up evil cliche from the beginning. He's the kind of guy that kind of laughs in his spare time and does shit like that.
Yeah.
And Danny meets him like in a very suspicious like circumstance. He's like, I thought you died. He's like, no, I'm not dead. I miss your father. And it's like, you can easily tell that he had something to do with the death of his father. And then it gets to the season finale, and it's like, it's supposed to be a dramatic reveal where he's like, where Danny Rand figures out he was involved with his father's death, and it's supposed to be a big dramatic turn, and we're like, literally, Danny, everyone knew this from episode 1.
Yeah.
And you're figuring this out in the fucking season finale. And you're the immortal Iron Fist, and you're just fighting a guy with a gun on a rooftop. Jesus Christ, it's lame. And all the hand stuff, I got really sick of. This goes for the Defenders as well, because like, It started off like the hand stuff in like season 1 of Daredevil, and how long ago was that? It felt like a fucking long time ago.
Yeah.
How many Netflix seasons have there been? Daredevil, Daredevil 2, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. So this was like the 5th one in.
Yeah.
Whole season, and they still didn't even wrap up anything to do with the hand. I just got a bit sick of the hand. They did a bit of a Stephen Moffat and kind of started off a plot thread like really early on, and
rather than
nobody
tying
cares.
anything up, just creating more loose ends.
And nobody cares about it by the end. Yeah, there's a big hole in the middle of the earth that had something to do with something. And then Sigourney Weaver randomly popped up in the Defenders. Defenders was slightly later in the year, but I'm gonna put this in with Iron Fist because
let's do the TV and then go to the movies.
They tie in almost directly as well. So the Defenders took like a good 3 episodes, I think, to actually unite, and it was only an 8 episode season. So again, they faffed around with that too much as well.
Yeah, it's a difficult one when you need to have them team up, to not have it happen too fast and conveniently, but not for them to take up a lot of time when they don't have much total time.
Episode 2, I think it was pretty cool, because Iron Fist just is doing his own case, and then Luke Cage is doing his own thing, and they kind of bump into each other and have a bit of a fight. That was cool.
Yeah.
And again, that felt like it was finally getting on with it. But then it takes another episode for them to, and Jessica Jones and Daredevil to all bump into each other. And I tell you what I found really annoying about Defenders as well. I think Daredevil's costume looks great in the Netflix universe.
Right.
But none of the others are wearing costumes. Jessica Jones' costume in the comics was ridiculous, so that's fair enough, and it wouldn't suit.
Yeah.
Luke Cage has a yellow jumper, a yellow t-shirt and a black hoodie. Like, that's fair enough. It's close to the comics, but Iron Fist still isn't wearing his costume. He's had the whole of his show and the whole of the Defenders, and he's still not wearing his costume.
He's just some dude with a glowing fist.
He's some whiny dude with a glowing fist. And it's real annoying. Because his costume actually looks good in the comics as well. Like the flowing bandana and stuff like that. It's a great look. But it was just 3 guys just fighting. And then like Daredevil in full costume.
Yeah.
It looked a bit ridiculous. So
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about the TV shows, do I have to talk about Inhumans now?
Yes, you do. Yes.
So I gave... Because I the day I was meant to go see Thor Ragnarok got cancelled, so I was said to Nick, like, because we're doing Marvel this week, I can only have time to do one or the other. I can either go see Thor whilst it's still in cinemas, or I can watch some Inhumans. And Nick was mean and said I need to watch Inhumans. So I watched the first episode, which was enough for me. Because it's an hour and a half long. And, god damn, you were talking about like set design and stuff like that. These are some of the blandest effing environments I've ever seen in a superhero show. Everything is just white stone. Like, I don't give a shit about the characters or the location. Like, it's meant to be a base on the moon, which sounds really cool, but it's in this dome, so it just looks like literally anywhere. I watched it yesterday, and whilst it could have been that I was only a little bit hungover. Like, it wasn't enough to like be that I was sleeping for it or anything like that. But I'm still struggling to recall what happened.
I mean,
they were on because the thing is, it's whole this Terragenesis thing is what the Inhumans go through to become inhuman. This is like a society, like it's a meritocracy. You know, they're built on your skills or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So the workers are just workers for like their entire life.
Yeah, so you're coming of age, you go through Terragenesis, and some people just don't have powers.
Right.
So if you're like deemed to be like a human, you get sent down to the mines to do mining. I don't think it's ever stated what they're mining, but it's of vital importance that they do this mining.
So this doesn't make from what I've heard, this doesn't make the main characters very relatable or...
Well, the thing is, so let's go, you got the king of Inhuman Land.
Black Bolt?
No, Black Bolt's the other dude. I can't even remember. But this is the king's power. Black Bolt I think is the guy that his brother. So the king, his power is heavily implied that if he talks, it's like a huge wave, and like so as a result, he doesn't talk. But apparently, the inability to talk also makes him really stupid. Because like.
When I saw the first picture as well, I hate to say, he's got a bit of a goony face, hasn't he?
He does.
Just a little bit gormless.
That's the thing. It's at no point is it really like good. It's just funny how bad this show is. Because the whole point is that his brother Black Bolt.
No. I think he is Black Bolt. I think his brother is. I can't remember his name, but it's Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones, isn't it?
I think he's the guy who used to be in
Skins.
Skins, yeah. But anyway, his brother, not the king, his brother, did Terragenesis and stayed human, so he basically gets laughed at. Right. But he's like the big... He openly criticised his brother. And then it goes from that, all of a sudden, to him doing a royal coup.
Right.
And I don't even know where this came from. Like, you don't get any chance to get to know any of the characters before he's trying to kill them all. And then, so, you've got this dog that can teleport... And the dog is also really stupid, but it's a dog, so that's fair enough.
Is the dog quite nice?
It's like a big CG dog.
What's his name? I can't remember his name. Can you remember his name? The dog's name?
No.
No, okay.
But basically, like they're like, dog, take all these people to like Earth where this other guy is, and they can all like get together. And the dog takes them to different places on the same island, so they're all like disbanded. And he drops the king in the middle of a road, and he almost gets hit by a car.
What a useful dog!
But because obviously the king can't talk, he just kind of gormlessly stares at all these cars. It's one of those things that is just so like. Nothing is given enough time to be explained, so when stuff happens, you just don't follow it.
So you just see like some random king who's just like who says nothing the entire episode, and then just dropped in the middle of the road.
Basically, his queen does all the talking for him, Medusa, whose power is like her hair.
Wavy hair, right? Which looks awful. I've seen a couple of trailers and it looks awful.
Well, don't worry, because about 30 minutes into the first episode, during the coup, it all gets shaved off.
Oh.
So that's her powers gone, basically.
Right.
And then she gets sent to Earth as well. And yeah, this guy's doing the coup because I'm guessing he got, you know, he doesn't like the fact that he doesn't have powers, I guess. But I think probably the worst CG in this thing is when he's like taunting the king, and he's like, yeah, because you killed our parents. It like flashes back and it's black and white. There's this kid sat on a sofa going like this. His parents are stood in front of you. You don't get to see their faces. And he goes, no! And like, the parents don't fly away like humans. They just kind of flop off the screen. It's meant to be this really intense thing that he accidentally killed his parents with his powers. But it just looks so goofy. And, this episode is... I'm really sad you didn't see it because there's just so much.
Oh, I kind of want to watch it now. Can we do a comment? We should do a commentary maybe.
Possibly, yeah. If we've yeah.
If you want to put yourself through it again.
And there's this other guy whose power is really cool, but it's one of those ones that just raises immediate question because it's too overpowered.
Right.
Like he has like 4 future vision.
Right. Okay.
So like there's this really cool sequence when like the guards come to like kill him during this coup. That like it starts playing out and he like grabs a gun, shoots a guy, and like he gets shot by someone else, and you're like, oh well, he's dead. But then he like is looking at it from like a third person perspective and goes, well, that didn't work, and like he can see all these lines and stuff of like distance and things. But then as soon as he gets transported to Earth, he just falls off a cliff. It's
right.
like, you didn't see that coming, did you, dickhead? And it's like, this future vision doesn't really have many defined rules. And like he can also like see a compass as well, but because he fell off the cliff and banged his head, the compass isn't working.
Right.
But the whole thing...
Oh, he is alive after falling off the cliff?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So, and now he's just kind of wandering around looking for his king.
Brilliant.
But the thing is, it's like, is it only other people he has future vision for? Surely he would have seen, like, if I step there, I'm going to fall off the cliff. Unless that was literally, like, the best outcome. Like, if he'd stepped another way, he'd get stabbed or something like that. But that's the thing, it was such an overpowered gift that it looked really cool, and the sections where he uses it are well directed as well. But then it just raises questions of, how does anything bad ever happen? Why didn't he see the coup coming? Like, it doesn't give any explanation. And you don't get any time on the moon with these people before this all happens to actually get to know any of them. And so, yeah, and the king just wanders about. Like, he walks into a clothing shop to get some more discreet clothing. Basically, gormlessly stares at the lady until she helps him. Gets some new clothes. And then walks out and gets arrested because he stole these clothes. And keeps on doing that classic superhero thing of like showing off like the security guard goes to stop and he just like breaks the guy's hand. It's like, you can't talk, you're not stupid. And that's the thing, it kind of takes his like not talking as though he's like just a bit dumb. Like, because he's at the police station and surely he can write.
Yeah.
But instead he just kind of wanders around like staring at things like really like gormlessly. And like then gets himself...
Plus they must have some kind of like monetary system on the moon. Surely. Or, I don't know, they must know how...
Pay with moon dollars. But yeah, the entire... like, and the thing is, there's this whole plot going on about the coup and I just didn't care. It was just such a bland show. It was so boring.
I think Lockjaw, is that the name of the dog?
Possibly.
I think it's just come to me. I think it's Lockjaw.
And like the dog was just this big CGI like blunder, and like as soon as he's done taking them all off the moon, apart from one of them, like he gets knocked out by some other person's powers, and then that's the dog out the picture, I guess, for a while. But it was an hour and a half, and nothing happened.
Really?
Yeah, the first episode was like one of these like...
Oh, they put it out in IMAX cinemas.
Yeah. God, I'm so glad I wouldn't have gone to see that in the cinema.
Well, the audience score for that was 51%.
I'm not surprised. Like
the Rotten Tomatoes score was 10%.
I'm not surprised. Like,
which do you agree with more?
I'd
somewhere in the middle.
I'd honestly rate it about a 4 out of 10. The pilot. It was just so boring, and I didn't. Thing is, if I'd known the characters, maybe this coup would have been like, oh shit, it's gone down.
Yeah.
But because it happened like 20 minutes into the first episode.
In an hour and a half episode. That's
And the rest of it is just all the characters just being a bit lost on...
shocking pacing.
On Hawaii Island. One of the islands of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Until I think maybe I honestly can't remember how it ends. I know there's like a fight.
You're excited to watch more though?
I don't want to watch any more. Please don't make me watch any more.
You have to finish it.
Well,
okay. Well, that's TV. The Punisher I've spoken about in previous episodes, so I won't delve too much into that. Although there is another costume problem with that. Just put people in costumes, please, Netflix. We don't mind. Also, I feel like they're trying to separate the Netflix stuff to the MCU a bit more.
Yeah, I don't mind that entirely because it's like different comic book runs, really.
Yeah, I know,
they're just doing it in
It's
TV.
just less and less references to each other.
Yeah.
Right. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was the first Marvel film this year. What did you think?
I really liked it.
So did I. I think that was my favourite of the three.
Well, obviously, I still need to see 4. I've heard 4 is really good, and obviously we'll get, you can explain that to me and hopefully sound like less like you've got post-traumatic stress disorder and you're like getting flashbacks and stuff like that. But no, I really liked Guardians too. I liked how it was almost like a typical day in the life. Like they were doing a job, Rocket got cocky, and then all of a sudden all this stuff was kicked off.
Yeah.
And I thought the whole dad plot was really good, and
I thought I wasn't even like big on the first one, but watching this one, like I feel it gave each character a really good arc.
Yeah, it's more character driven than the first one.
Definitely, and like, yeah, everyone had a real thing to do, and like even like side characters like Yondu from the first one, like ended up being like one of my favourite characters. I think in this one,
I think the only person who, Karen Gillan's character, I felt had a very
Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula's plot was kind of a nothing plot line. She's really angry at Gamora and then just kind of stops.
Well, I mean, that's going to lead into Infinity War, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I thought at least she had something to do, and I thought their fight scene was quite interesting.
No, she definitely... Because when I heard she was coming back, I was like, why? She didn't really do much in the... Like, I thought she didn't really need to be there. She kind of justified her being there, but it was like they had a really big fight and then everything was cool. And that was basically her entire plot in the film.
But again, that hopefully it leads on to a bit more of her against Thanos in the sequel.
Yeah.
Or Thanos, as she says.
Thanos.
Yeah, so that was super good. I was listening to the soundtrack on the way up here actually today. Really good soundtrack. I think better than the first.
Oh, well, I do love The Chain, and I do love Mr. Blue Sky.
Fox on the Run.
Yeah.
Real good. Man, we'll breeze through these. We're coming to the end of the episode. Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I really liked it. I only saw it like a few weeks ago.
Really?
It was when Thor Ragnarok got... Like, my evening to go see it was like cancelled because people I was going with...
Did you pick it up on DVD or Blu-ray?
I got it on DVD. It's over on my rack over there.
Nice. See, I still haven't got it yet, but...
But no, it's because I hadn't seen it. I was like, well, I'm going to watch stuff in Marvel this evening. And I really liked it. I thought in the MCU it was quite refreshing to see such a small town hero, such a small town villain.
Yeah, because it didn't... I mean, plus the threat wasn't like a big showdown with loads of weapons and stuff. It was just him trying to stop those weapons getting into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
And I thought those weapons, the fact that they tie into the MCU was just a nice little nod.
Yeah.
I was worrying from the trailers for this that it was going to tie too much into Iron Man and the Avengers and stuff like that, but it really was a proper
I think
Spider-Man story, wasn't it?
And it was the first, whilst obviously we've had Spider-Man films in the past, which probably was the first introductory film for a superhero that they're not fighting the anti of themselves.
Exactly, yeah.
And I thought the villain's motivation was actually kind of justified in that Tony Stark obviously made all this mess and then he was contracted to clean it all up. Yeah. Rather than him, and he was like, "Well, that I could see that being as a whole life isn't fair."
Yeah, literally, he caused the mess, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm going to be responsible for getting rid of this mess," and all these contractors are just.
And I like the whole mentor mentee relationship between Tony Stark and...
Again, a lot of people don't like Tony Stark as a character, but I really like him because he is a douche, and like he does cause a lot of the shit that goes wrong in like his world. But like, yeah, I think
That's the thing. You can see he's trying.
Yeah.
Like Robert Downey Jr. always does very well to like portray that he's like trying, but he's not quite there with the whole.
Did it feel like too much of an Iron Man film?
No, because Iron Man was used sparingly.
Yeah, it was only a couple of scenes.
Like if he turned up for the climactic fight,
yeah,
it would have. Because Iron Man could have ended that probably in one punch.
He was just very true. Also, I much preferred the homemade suit in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I thought it was a nice little thing, whereas like if you like,
and I'm
nothing without the suit. If you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve.
Exactly, that was a nice little spin because if he did the final fight in the tech suit, I would have felt it was again mostly Iron Man beating Vulture rather than Spider-Man.
Yeah,
because why is he, like I feel the tech suit is a little bit much. He's got an AI instead of. I mean, he has spider sense in this franchise, but again, the AI does a lot of the thinking for him.
Yeah,
which isn't amazing, I don't think.
But I think it, at the same time, wasn't used like too excessively as well. Like the only times it was used was like that boat scene when he's trying to hold the boat together, and even then it didn't work.
No, I know.
But no, I think I liked how it was more character driven, and I think Tom Holland is probably my favourite Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
because he can do both sides well. Whereas I've always said like Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker, but not very good Spider-Man.
And
Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man, not very good Peter Parker.
Yeah, bang on. Yeah, this is a really good blend. It does. Yeah, it's really great, visually bright film. I do feel like the marketing materials. Okay, this is real nitpicky, but like he looked very bright red in the posters and stuff, and then in the film they kind of gave it the classic Marvel color grade. There's a good video essay you've probably seen on color grading in the MCU, but you compare like the Spider-Man, like take a screenshot from Homecoming and then put that next to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Those are more saturated, and it does look like more of a proper red. And I don't know. I think my problem is that there's a lot of like one of my problems with Civil War is that there's a lot of like dark crimson kind of like suits in that fight scene.
It's very navy blue, dark crimson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
across the entire cast.
Oh god, it's a bit much. So I hope. I don't know. Looking at the Infinity War trailer, they've added a new texture to Spider-Man, so that's.
Well, isn't this meant to be like the Iron Spider in a way?
It's kind of. I think it's more influenced by a run. It might be an Ultimate Spider-Man or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's got a new texture on the suit, which looks pretty good.
Yeah. But no, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was very funny as well.
But again, I thought the homemade suit was nicer.
Yeah. And I do find like when he's in suburbia and he needs to get back to the city and he runs into like golf courses, just like with his string and it just attaches to nothing. He's like, shit. And has to run across the golf course.
That's a good reference because there's always been that joke that there's just like helicopters constantly going off over New York, so like that's how he gets across all the time, and that's why he can always swing. Yeah. Because it's not building after building or everywhere in New York. It was very fun, referential, young, light-hearted film with a really good cast. I loved Ned. Yeah. My favourite line in that was when he's like hacking away on the computer or whatever, and then like the cleaner comes in. He's just like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm looking at porn." No, I thought that was a cracking line. I thought that was probably a funnier film than I don't know. I think it was one of the funniest Marvel films this year, actually. Even though the other two were still really light-hearted. And that's the thing with Guardians is that it wasn't so relentlessly funny. This Guardians, it had like quite heavy scenes in it as well. Yeah. So Spider-Man felt like enough of a bright touch that it was. Yeah, I just thought it was great. Really good film. Yeah. I do always like the coming of age stories as well. And all that. Well, I love all those like John Hughes films. Like, yeah, it took influence from. In fact, there was one scene that was a little bit too heavy on the John Hughes influence, where he's swinging like to get back to the party. I think,
Right.
And I was like, okay, I can. This is like a bit of a John Hughes nod, but then he literally lands in one place and they're playing Ferris Bueller's Day Off like on the TV in the same scene, and I'm like, that's just one little bit too much.
Yeah, a little bit too self-referential.
Yeah, exactly.
Wink
That
at
was
yourself.
just a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
But yeah, great film. I can't wait to pick it up. I'm probably going to get it this Christmas.
And now, finally,
Thor Ragnarok. This was really good. I mean, the other two I thought was so strong that Thor, even though it was really good, it just wasn't quite. It was probably the bottom of all the films, Marvel films this year.
You reckon?
A lot of people are going to hate me for saying that, but it was probably the funniest of the three, actually. But
It's better than the first two Thor films, isn't it?
God,
Because
yeah.
the Thor films have been traditionally the weak links in the MCU.
Well, not even that. They've just been like so bloody average. It was like, yeah. Whereas this kind of, it was so eccentric and it was fantastic at times. I thought the thing that let it down was the first half, which isn't. I'm not going to get into too spoilery.
I mean, the trailers give a decent amount.
It's still in cinemas, so I won't be too spoilery.
Okay.
In that the first half is kind of before it gets to like the big Thor on another planet, and before he's got his hair shaved and all that, where he's just Thoring about. That felt very like the first couple of Thor films,
Right.
where it was a bit kind of average.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is in it. That's been shown in the Doctor Strange post-credit scene.
Right. Yeah.
And that sequence was kind of weird. I feel like it was a bit hastily edited together. Because they actually used that exact scene from Doctor Strange.
What, where he's
sipping the beer or whatever.
Yeah, interviewing him all.
And it felt like that was kind of interplaced with
new
footage, yeah.
So it kind of is a bit of a janky edit.
It was a very jarring kind of sequence, actually, the whole Doctor Strange bit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was a bad cameo. I like this version of Doctor Strange, but yeah, it's just a bit of a jarring kind of edit around. Also, this is weird. Like, it's in the trailers. They edit the background. You know, in the first trailer where he throws the hammer and it gets smashed by Hela.
Yeah.
That's in like a back alley.
Right.
In the first trailer, and in the actual film, that entire sequence takes place in like Norway or something.
Oh.
And yeah, because they kind of edit again, it's a weird kind of jarring edit where Doctor Strange is like, "Hey, the person you're looking for is here," and he sends them to Norway for a portal or whatever. And it's a bit green screeny. It's a bit weird and jarring. How like, I think they had a. This is from behind the scenes photo. They were going to do like Odin on Earth, basically, and he was going to be this kind of homeless, drunk old man kind of figure.
Right.
And I think they switched up the location to make him a bit. They deleted all of that because none of that made it into the film.
Yeah.
And they swapped it to like this new environment to make it a bit classier, I guess. But I don't know, yeah. But when the actual film kicks really into gear with the Hulk and Thor and stuff and Jeff Goldblum, it's an absolute hoot. Really good fun.
Is Jeff Goldblum proper Jeff Goldblum in this film?
Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah. All over the fucking shop. It's great. I think there's a lot of improv, which is fantastic. All the New Zealand characters are amazing. Taika Waititi, the director, makes a cameo as Korg, who's a what's he called? Rock guy. One of those species. He's in the second Thor as well.
Oh, what, the one that he just kind of
smashes?
hits,
Yeah. But they make a kind of few funny jokes about that. Cronin, I think it's called.
Right.
Yeah, so like all of that stuff is great. The ending I thought was fantastic. Again, there's musical influence that they've taken from Guardians, because they actually get the Led Zeppelin Immigrant Song in a couple of times to the actual film as well.
Yeah.
It's a real good film. And I think that was the general thing about Marvel films this year. They've all just been absolute hoot and really good as well.
Yeah. No, the films continue to be really good. The TV shows needs improvement.
Yeah.
In some areas.
Exactly.
Most areas.
So, just quickly, what are you looking forward to most in Infinity War?
Oh yeah, looping back. It's good. We're bringing it full circle.
Exactly.
The
Inhumans to pop up, and they've got the last Infinity Stone.
I'm looking forward to Thanos making a beeline, like he's heading straight for Earth, but he actually just stops just in low Earth orbit and shoots the Inhuman base on the moon.
No, I just
Wiping them all out.
when he arrives, he just smashes through the moon. The entire moon is just destroyed, and he just lands on Earth, and he's like, "What was that?" kind of thing. And they just wreck on the entire.
Yeah, they just take the moon out of the MCU because Inhumans were so bland. No, I'm looking forward to the interactions between, like, the characters that have never interacted before, like mostly the Guardians, but like there was that picture on like first day of shooting, which was like Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, and Robert Downey Jr. If those three are in a scene together, really?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just because they're all quite like different types of humour.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange with Spider-Man and Iron Man. I think that's going to be a great combination. I feel like because since the first couple of Avengers films, when was the last one? Age of Ultron, was that 2015? 14?
What, Age of Ultron?
Yeah. Was it 15?
I think it was 15.
Only a couple of years ago, but by the time this rolls around, like, the universe would become so dense and so, like, spread out as well.
I'm a bit concerned about characters being sidelined, like, good. Because I reckon, out of the Guardians, I'm a bit worried that everyone but Chris Pratt is going to be set dressing. Like,
Right.
none of them will have very much to do.
Yeah. I think Rocket will get a great action scene, probably, but that's about it.
Yeah. No, Rocket will probably get, like, comments, because obviously he's...
A raccoon.
Yeah. But I'm thinking more like, I'm worried that Gamora will just end up being off to the side.
In fact, I'm worried about
the
female characters generally in this film, because all of the hero shots in the Infinity War trailer, they're all so male.
Yeah. Although Black Widow has had the hair.
She got one shot, of blonde hair. That was about it. And hopefully Black Panther does a bit for the diversity as well, because like all of his like warriors are like.
Yeah, I
want to say they're his sisters or something in the comics.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
But I did like how it seems to be that one of the action set pieces is going to be in Wakanda.
Yeah, and I think what I do think is that I think the equivalent of the King's Guard in Wakanda are like all females. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Black Panther next year as well.
So am I. Yeah, is that before Infinity War?
It's before, and then it's Infinity War, and then like after Infinity War is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's next year. Should be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think I'm actually most excited for Black Panther of the three.
Yeah.
Because the first Ant-Man was like, okay, I thought.
I still really liked it, but like I think we keep on saying, you gotta wonder how much better it would have been if it was a certain director.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that wouldn't have fitted as nicely into the MCU.
Probably not.
But this does, like, Infinity War does look like a great culmination of everything that's come before it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's probably, whilst, like you say, they could be more visually diverse in their individual films, it's probably what creates this thematic through line for these crossovers to be that much more hard-hitting. And I guess I'd rather the MCU way of doing things than the DCE way of doing things.
How do you think the Russos are going to deal with big-scale action? Because what they've done so far is mostly kind of small, quick-cut, hand-to-hand stuff. It's just to go from like Winter Soldier combat to a guy like throwing planets at people. Like, what do we reckon?
I think it might help in a way because big battles where you don't zoom in at all have no real weight.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just you're basically watching a lot of CGI go blah 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 and clump together. So as long as they can like intersperse it with like cool individual moments for characters, whilst having the big action scene still be like interesting.
I just hope. I think ideally I would have got someone. I would have liked them to get James Gunn for this next Avengers film. They went for the Russo because the Captain America films were like really well received, but I think James Gunn like. I want to see some inventive use of what they've got, basically. Because they've got Infinity Stones, which do all kinds of different things. I just hope there's enough visual, like, flair in that. Like, going back to Guardians of the Galaxy, like, the final fight scene in that, like, goes a bit nuts. And there's one point where Chris Pratt kind of, like, morphs into a Pac-Man to fight
God, that's
Ego.
such a great moment.
Like, that's... I don't know. I want them to have a bit more fun with the action sequences, basically. I don't feel... One of my big problems still with Civil War is that just, like, it's pretty basic kind of combat and
I don't know.
action.
You're like your Ant-Man and your Spider-Man definitely. It would have been a lot worse off for those two because they kind of lightened it up a bit.
Yeah, I get.
And like
yeah.
Ant-Man
Swinging
throwing the truck and then like it enlarging and like creating huge fire.
Yeah,
and
that was kind of, and like swinging around the legs of Ant-Man. I guess that was pretty good.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Just I really hope they have fun with the Infinity Stones. And
Yeah.
they've had enough films to
yeah.
to give them-
I hope they're treated as more than just MacGuffins.
exactly. Yeah, like in the first Avengers, we see stuff doing mind control. We see Doctor Strange. We've got time like bending and stuff like that. With what else have we had? Thor: The Dark World. We had other things. What did that one do? Made Natalie Portman feel dizzy, so they could do something with that.
I really don't remember very much of that film.
But anyway,
They
they could do quite a lot with it, and I hope they do. It's gonna be good. Who cares?
And with that,
That's
Yeah.
this week's episode.
so thank you for listening. What film from this year did you think was the best superhero wise, and what films are you looking forward to next year? As usual, you can follow us on Twitter at Cynical Podcast
Mm-hmm.
for updates and the like. Join us on Fridays where we are still struggling through Aliens Colonial Marines,
Yes.
which we're going to be recording after this. And you can tell we're just so excited. And yeah, I think that's all the plugging I've got for this week. What about you?
All the plugging I've got.
Join us next week when the topic is Lego.
Yes.
And
Sorry
I'm
for
really
so
excited.
many optimistic episodes in a row.
To be fair, this one's had a decent amount of cynicism.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It wasn't as cynical as I was expecting.
Mostly
So I
the
thought
TV
you were going to
shows.
watch Inhumans, but no, it's just me who had to
Oh.
suffer. But
Because I got to watch Thor, which was I got the good end of that deal. But
Yeah, I was going to say maybe that can be something we do in the
snooze, you
future.
lose. I'm afraid, Phil.
Sure, why not? Anyway, we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening. I've been Phil.
And I've been Nick.
Thanks.
Bum, 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 ba-da, bum, bum, bum.
Beautiful. That's going to be the end. What plays during the end card.